is CNN Breaking News.
We are following breaking news out of Iran this hour, the election that's taken place there. Iranian state media has a new ticker, scroll reading. The national media, IRINN, congratulates the victory of Mr. Hassan Rouhani in the presidential election. Again, this is the headline coming out of Iran this hour. You see the president, Hassan Rouhani, in the presidential election. This video is what we're looking at right now. Iran's Interior Ministry has not released new numbers since their last update. Those numbers had the incumbent President Rouhani with 22 million votes, a little more than 22 million. 700,000. His main challenger, Ibrahim Raisi, with 15 million of the votes. Those numbers reported, and giving you the broad numbers, can be more specific here. Exactly 22,796,468, and Mr. Raisi with 15,452,194 votes. Let's go live to Fred Pleiken, who is on the ground following this. Fred, what's the latest?
Hi, George. Well, what we're expecting is that in the next around 45 minutes, the Interior Ministry is probably going to announce the official results of this election. The numbers that you were just giving was with about 38 million of the votes counted in this election. And again, the Iranians were saying that more than 40 million people actually voted in this election. So there were still some ballots that were being counted, and that's why there isn't any sort of official announcement from the Interior Ministry yet. But apparently the state media is seeing that Hassan Rouhani is so far ahead in the votes that have been counted so far that they are already congratulating him on winning this election. There's also some smaller news agencies here in Iran that have actually done the same thing, that are also saying Hassan Rouhani has won this election, which of course, George, as we've been saying over the past couple of days, is a very important one to many Iranians, very important in shaping this country's role in the Middle East, in shaping this country's role globally as well, and of course internally as far as its economic policies are concerned. And from having been at a lot of these polling stations, one major polling station in Tehran yesterday, you could really see that the turnout was very, very high. Many people were coming out and telling us, look, right now we have two candidates, especially whose economic policies are diametrically opposed to one another. And that's why many of them said they believed that this election was so very important. And finally, George, one of the things that we also shouldn't underestimate was in the run-up to the election, the Donald Trump factor. Of course, right now with him, the president being in Saudi Arabia and Israel, also with some of the policies and some of the rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration, Hassan Rouhani was put under a lot of pressure by the conservatives because, of course, he was the one who negotiated the nuclear agreement. He was the one who said that this country should engage more with the West, also with the United States, and that's something that he was very much criticized for after the Trump administration took that hard line. But it doesn't seem to have hurt him in the polls. Judging from what we're just hearing, it seems as though Hassan Rouhani will be declared the victor of Iran's 12th presidential election in its history here.
Fred Pleiken live in Tehran, Iran. Thank you so much. Again, the headline here, national media congratulating the victory of Hassan Rouhani in the presidential election. CNN, of course, has a correspondent on the ground. We'll continue to bring you updates and news lines as we learn more about this breaking news we're following.
Yeah, a lot going on in the Middle East right now. Donald Trump, of course.